Hey guys, and how's it going? I'd like to introduce you to our latest purchase. A little backstory, we've been into Toyotas for our commuter cars for the longest time, and my wife runs generally the 4Runner. She's gone everywhere from the 87 4Runner. We did a 90, a 96, a 2000, and a 2003. Well, after the 2003 4Runner was done, we went to a Sequoia with the V8. We thought it'd be good for towing, which it is, but it's a little on the large side for when you're driving in the city and just trying to get in and out of parking spots. So she kind of liked these, and so we picked one up. Not sure what we're going to do with the Sequoia yet, but this is going to be serviced and gone through, and let her run this for a while and see how she likes it. So I started looking on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace for different vehicles. I'll walk around while we're talking. And this is one of the ones that popped up. Of course, I was looking on, they were anywhere from, I say the cheapest one I saw was $7,500. The most expensive one, you know, they're up in 30 grand, 35 grand for the last year. This is the first year, so 2007. It's kind of a plain Jane. In general, the FJs are a plain Jane compared to other vehicles on the Toyota lineup, but that's okay with us. It does what it's supposed to do. It is good for off-road, and we have some places that we need to get to for that also. The gentleman had this one listed for $8,900. It has 173,000 miles on it. The gentleman was moving. I looked at it. I saw some issues that it had, and we'll get into those in a little bit. But it was a running, driving car. But I was going to look for something a little cleaner and a little less work on it, and maybe a little less miles. I, on the phone, offered him 7 grand. He said, come out and take a look at it. Even at 7 grand, I decided to continue looking for something maybe a little bit better. And I said to him, I said, if you don't sell it by the time you move, get back to me. He did, and wanted an offer. I offered 5 grand. He said, thanks, but no thanks. Then he slept on it. The next day he contacted me back and said, if you want it for 5 grand, you could have it. So we own it. It's already registered. It has not had an inspection sticker on it yet. We still have to go through that, and some repairs need to be done on it. So having said that, let's go bring it in the garage. We'll take a look at what it needs. Maybe tell a little bit more about the story and where we need to go from there. And we're inside. I ran the gas tank low on purpose because we have to put a fuel strap in it. I'll show you that in a little bit. But we can go put it around. The camera focuses. You understand, we're already in 4-wheel. And if you could listen, if you could hear it right off the camera. Here's some clanking. You gotta look into that. Possibly it's the gas tank straps. I'm not sure. Apologize for the bumpy ride. Let's go bring her back to the garage. We'll pick her up in the air and see what she has to offer. All right, some of the issues that this one has. It's never been wrecked, never been painted. No large mechanical issues have been dealt with, other than I think the rear pumpkin was changed out of it. The rear diff was noisy at some point. It's always been Toyota dealership maintained. I have all the records from it. 173 is what it has on it, if I didn't say. The 2 owners, and it's just been a daily driver for the last owner. I think he bought it at 45, right around 45,000. Has an exhaust. It has an exhaust leak is one thing. The gas tank, one of the straps are rotted out. I picked up 2 new ones. Little things like the gas door in the back is kind of flapping around. There is a clunk when you go over bumps. We're going to see if that's the gas tank rattling, or possibly a sway bar or a shock mount. Some things are just petty, some things are more important. Definitely the gas tank is the biggest issue right now. Other than that, the other largest issue is on this is it has, and it's a common Toyota problem with this and the Tacomas, a transmission shudder when it shifts gears, especially in the higher gears when you go from 4th to 5th on the automatic. The torque converter shudders in between. There's a bunch of different people saying different fixes for them. Some are it's a solenoid inside the transmission that fails. Some say changing the fluid works. Some change the torque converter. Some change the transmission. It's not terrible, but it can be annoying when you're driving it. It's not like it's going to leave you anywhere, but around town, I found the best bet is to bump it into 4. You just bump the shifter over and it doesn't go into overdrive, and it's not noticeable. But once you get over 50 miles an hour, you just put the shifter back, and if you're going on the highway, and then it's fine. That way you get used to working the gas pedal, and when it goes between gears, you just let off and hit it again. It's not as noticeable. Other than that, it's pretty tight as far as not being a beat rat. So I'm gonna go pull it forward. We're gonna get it up on jack stands. We're gonna go walk around it, see what it looks like underneath, and then we'll start fixing some of the things. Got her up in the air. We're going under. This is where everything starts to show itself in our neck of the woods. I live in New England, New Hampshire to be precise, and our vehicles rust, no matter what make, model. Some worse than others, but they all rust. So if you can see on this one, it's no different. Definitely like a bunch of scaliness on the pumpkin. It's not rotted through anywhere, but it definitely needs to be addressed within the next year or two, or else it's really going to be an issue. Take a cruise around it. Get it, cruise. Then it gets better as you go more forward. The frame looks better. A little solid block of rust. No tow hitch on this one, so I don't think it ever did anything with boating. Just winter driving. You see all the splash that comes up on it. Literally, we've got sand and salt that kills our vehicles. Has an exhaust leak, and it looks like the union between these two pipes has just had it. We're probably just going to go cut it, slip in a piece of pipe, weld it around, and at some point when the rest of the pipes go, replace the rest of it. It's like it's physically leaking right there. Corrosion on the wheels. Not to get concerned about that. Had a rub there. See hits underneath it anywhere. The skid plate looks decent. I don't think, again, this one was never off-road. I think a lot of them were just, you know, mall cruisers for the most part, or commuter vehicle. Again, this one being a commuter also. I don't see any bad sway bar issues. The links look good. I don't see any of them broken. But I'll show you where the noise, I believe, is coming from. Again, the side of the frame looks decent. Just the rear section. Normally what I do is I use bar and chain oil and thin it with something to spray it. And I'll spray the whole thing down inside and out. And it does a very good job of stopping the rust from going any further. So here's the gas tank. This strap is still connected. You can see on that one, it is no longer connected. So it's only being held by the front. I got the gas tank down, the gas level down to where the light's on, so there should only be a gallon or two in it. Might be a little bit easier for us to work with. Got to remove the skid plate, and then the bands can be taken care of. Brakes are dragging. And if you go to turn this front wheel, you literally can't even turn it. So that's an issue. That caliper more than likely needs to be replaced. Either that, or if the pads are in all the way, sometimes when you squeeze it back in, they can recover. But I have a feeling we're going to end up changing that brake caliper out. It's had them changed once before in the paperwork from the dealer, but that could have been, you know, 8-10 years ago. Who knows? And then back to here, you can see where all this is getting to the point where it's not gone, but if you let it go too much longer, is definitely going to be an issue. It's like somebody put a muffler and tailpipe on it at some point. Brake lines look decent. Looks like they're coated so there's not to save them. I don't see any rust on the ends of them. All you guys that deal with rust-free vehicles are shaking your head right now, I know. This has a e-locker. Let me see if I can spin you up. So it's got a solenoid on here that locks the rear diff. I think it only goes in on low range, not sure of that. So that's the dirty, the nasty and dirty part of it. Let's start getting some stuff off, take a peek at what we got, maybe order some parts. I already got the gas tank straps in and a couple other little things. But let me get that front driver wheel off, take a look at that caliper, and see what we got to work with there. This is the caliper on the driver's side, the one that's binding up. You can see the distance between the metal of the pad, the braking material, and then the rotor. It looks like the outer is maybe a little bit less than the inner. Let's go look at the other side. Then if you look at this side, you can see there's a little bit more meat. It looks like they're pretty much even. Maybe the outer's got a little bit less than the inner also. Face of the rotors don't look terrible. It does look like there's some hot spots on them though. Like right there going across, and that'll cause that pulse when you're going. Let's go try to squeeze that caliper back into the side, see if it has any chance in, you know, to recover. What you're going to watch for is that there's some airspace in the reservoir for when you squeeze the caliper for the fluid to go back into, and crack the cap, just let the pressure out. But that should be enough to squeeze the calipers. They make a tool, you take the caliper off and you can put in between it and squeeze against it. Sometimes you can get on it with some kind of wedge. I don't know if this is going to do anything at first. And or a big pair of pliers. That one's moving. That one's moving. See if it freed up the rotor. It did. That one's moving. One of them's got to be frozen. I think we found our culprit. Can you see? Can't see a thing. Yeah, so it seems like this bottom one is the one that's stuck, but it did pull back. Let's unbolt the caliper, and I'm going to take the clip out also to have the flex line so we can manipulate it and set it right here. We'll get the tool inside there. Possibly pull the boot back. We'll take a peek what the piston looks like, if it's got a bunch of corrosion on it or not. We'll take a peek on the inside of that. Sometimes you can take a little bit of brake fluid and kind of put it on the inside, clean that surface up, pump them actually out further so that more of it's exposed. Take a little bit of Scotch-Brite, clean it up, but we'll find out. And both of the caliper, took the rotor off, and you can see all the hot spots that are in the rotor. I can cut it, but generally, even after you cut it, it's going to cause some pulsing issues. Even if you get to go away for a little bit, it has a tendency to come back just because the metal's been, it's a different softness is probably the best way to put it in those areas. So we just decided to change everything out. So you got new rotors, new calipers, and pads, and that should definitely cure any issues it's got on the front end. I didn't bother filming. I put a stick on the brake pedal to push it down a little bit so that the fluid wouldn't flow through. And two nuts are back on the rotor just to hold the rotor in place. Reassembled everything. One thing the old caliper was missing was one of the expansion springs. I'm not sure whether they came from the factory with one or two, but the caliper had two of them already on there, so we reinserted them back in there. Bleeding the brakes on these things, I run into trouble before. You got to be careful that you don't let the system run dry, because it's more than a regular master cylinder. They have anything that, the best way to put it, anything that has the ability to apply the brakes by itself has, lack of better terms, a pump that can actually push brake fluid through. And there's little servos or pistons that will push fluid when it needs to. If the system goes dry and you get air trapped up inside those, you need a special handheld computer that you can override those to put them in a position where you could bleed the brakes. So it's just pretty important that you don't let the system run dry. And generally, I'm not sure where they're going to be on this one. Might be right underneath this cover, and they can fire at different points. And there's generally a little electric pump, there it is, an electric motor that will spin and apply the fluid pressure going through. Put a piece of wood under the brake pedal, pushing it a little bit, and I'm going to go turn the key on. The pump should cycle. We should be able to get there we go. That feels pretty good. I'm not getting any air now. That should do it. So I got the brakes done on both sides. That's all taken care of and bled. Now the next issue is the bike rack on the back. We do not have the key for it. And the issue with it, it's okay to leave it on, but if you ever get a flat, you don't have the capacity to get the spare tire off. So I have a feeling it's probably like a cam that just goes in and out as you turn the key. But we're going to operate. Let's see if we can get that knob off of there. You guess what's coming next? Let's see if we can do a slight examination. Probably jam a screwdriver in there, see if we can get it to do a turn now. There we go. See if that'll spin off for us. Alright. Probably reuse it. Just don't worry about having a key anymore. Think that's long enough? All right. So to get it off of there, looks like we got 2 Allen screws. And then there'll be a bracket behind there. And I don't know. Let's get that out of the way first. That tire's got no air pressure in it either, so probably should fill that up and keep an eye on it. And then they're no good to you if they're not ready to roll. Just throw that anywhere. What do we got to do? It's got a strap holding it. I don't know where that's going. Up behind the tire. There's a strap going up and around and behind the back. So to get this off, I don't know if we could just, if that main bolt just kind of locked on there or not, but I have a feeling it's rusted to death. We get a slide hammer on that, see if it'll come up. So I have a slide hammer that I welded a pair of vice grips to. Let's see if that'll get it. There you go, like that. Moving. We try soaking that a little bit with some fluid, and we'll come back and give it a couple of whacks after I go grab a bite to eat. That's about an hour or two later. Ran some errands. Let's see if it's gonna go or we're gonna have to cut it off. I think we're gonna have to cut it. Let's see if we can get the lug nuts loose on the tire. We'll get the tire right out of the way, get us access in there. Maybe we'll just put a slice right in it, be able to open it up. Okay. Actually, probably just get rid of that whole thing, can't we? That'll work out just fine. That was easy. Probably let it soak in some evaporust or something. That stud needs a little bit of love. Actually, the whole thing. You get the idea. What do you think we got for pressure? I'm gonna say 5. You could. One. I don't hear anything. Yeah, a little bit. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that, see if it's leaking around the bead. I put it around 35, 40, especially if it's losing air. Fortunately, it's easy enough to check. It's out in the open, you walk by it and push on it. That is 15. You get the idea. You need to watch this. I actually have a set of 4 of these upstairs. I believe are in better shape than this. So I may just pick and choose, but for now, going to make sure that we have a spare tire that's usable. I seen some happening right there. We got a leak right there. We're going to go try something. Sometimes you hit with a hammer and make it worse. You can hit it and it'll seat the rubber. In this case, I don't think we're making it any better. I just have to break it down. Now I got 2. There you go, there's an improvement. It's got another one over there too. Yeah, I'm gonna hit it on the tire machine, we'll pop it off the bead, and it's probably got a bunch of aluminum corrosion behind it. Just so happens that I have 5 more in stock. So we're gonna go take one of these for the spare because I just can't get it with the tire machine. Not set up for it. That even looks better. Got a better tread on it too. So we'll leave that be up there and I'll throw the other one upstairs with a note on it. It leaks as a spare for whatever it gets used for in the near future. All right, so we got the exhaust or the gas tank to deal with. What do you want to go with next? All right, let's get the gas tank taken care of first. Hopefully you can see, because I can't see what you can see. It has this plastic, I don't know, you want to call it skid plate on the gas tank. And this is where the strap is that we're replacing, that they bolt to. The new one already has new studs coming off of it. So if we break these off, I'm not that concerned. I just don't want to get into cutting on something that has gas right above it, you know what I mean? These are a little on the loose side. I was hoping they're gonna buzz right now. Find out. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Yeah. I gotta get something that fits a little tighter. There's a joke there somewhere. I'll try a different selection of. Oop, that might be our winner. Yeah, I go deal with that. When it gets stuck like that, I showed it before. I just like to stick a screwdriver down in it, and when it obviously touch the nut, and it just launches it right out. Nice. Maybe that one. Okay, that's the strap that's already broken. Still gotta get them off the pan, so. See what we get. It's not feel all that great. Watch your eyes. Nope. We may just pull the pin. There's a pin on that side on the strap. That's what we're gonna do. That way we can work with this thing on a bench. Probably just cut the heads right off. That's the clip on that strap that has to come off. Not sure how that pin is held in. I think it's one of the ones that got to go forward first and unhook. I need a different screwdriver. See if we can get it. Trying to not block your view at the same time. Yeah, that's what it is. It looks like that. Now we should be able to get that pin out of there. Get the whole thing to drop down. The front strap's still holding us. I hope. Something's holding us. The gas neck, maybe. We got the ground strap in the front, which is weird because the pan's plastic. How does the ground strap work? that grass strap. Is that an Allen? It's hard to tell. No, I really can't see. We in? All right, there we go. That wasn't so bad. Let's get rid of what's left of that strap that's doing nothing. We could probably hang that new one right on it. It already had spray on the top side. I already sprayed it. This is the new one. Those new studs in it. The old one has a gasket or anti-chafing, I don't even want to call it. Bumper. Shim. Pop that on in now. Kick some of the rust out of it. The old ones look like they were painted and regular steel. The new ones are Galvy. So I have a feeling it was a common problem. The replacements are galvanized. Let's see. You gonna come out right? Yeah. We'll get that wrapped up. Slip that one on. Probably have to put a floor jack under it, maybe. Generally, you are able to kind of push it up and catch a little bit of the threads on the stud and then push it all the way up. I'm gonna probably throw a jack under it just to help us. Again, there's not much gas in it, so it shouldn't be very heavy. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm gonna knock this out and bring you back. I think we were pretty much driving around with a situation like that. I don't know. I'll clamp it on, see if I can push it up and get it on. I think it'll go. You go get it. Pop it right on the socket. That is not the socket. That one is. Close. They're like right there. Come on. Don't let me get the impact. You're like right there. That's what I was talking about. I knew it was going to be close. Let's go try to put it on the impact gun and hopefully not cross thread it. Looks good. Phew. I don't know if that gets run all the way up. I would think it would. Yeah, it does. Looking at the other one. One down, one to go. I know that strap had a little moth houses moving day. Let's see if we can get that one back up into place. Piece of cake. Now we gotta get that skid plate free. Yeah, it's just riveted on there. I'm not quite sure what the plan is. Does it work kind of like a static mat does? I don't know. The idea of grounding a plastic pan on a plastic gas tank. If it gets hit by lightning, it's supposed to hit here and go to the body. I don't know. What's your thoughts? The gas tank's all back together. That wasn't too bad. Let's go knock out the exhaust. It's getting kind of late, but I like to get that out of the way and just have some easy things to work on tomorrow. I'm not expecting much to survive, but let's beat it with a hammer and see what comes out. Bet you it leaks now. Yeah, that's about what I expected. I don't think there's gonna be enough meat to put a gasket back in there and sandwich it back together. I just think the flanges are so far gone. Yeah. It's close. Can always weld on them, you know. That's the gasket itself coming out. Thing is, if you have enough meat on the edges, I don't know. I gotta think about that. Hopefully the light's not getting you, but that is definitely a leak. It is now anyway. I don't see enough meat around here to hold the. It's kind of like a copper crush gasket that goes in between there, like accordion looking. You actually see it. Yeah. I say we move forward with the original plan. We'll slice it and slice it, see if we can get a piece of pipe, go right over. These feel pretty good. You're hitting on them, you can kind of tell they're still solid. I'll turn them back now. I need to find a pipe roughly. Maybe want the larger of the two, I would guess, yeah. Just gonna be that one. And it should meet about that far into that one. Alright. Let's go see what we can find. See what the pile has to offer. That's gonna be too skinny. That's all the same pipe. Cut up a muffler maybe. Still too small. Make a square. How about, is that steel? Too small. I have one more tote of, oh, call it a pallet of like miscellaneous metal that I have not brought over, and it's all the fine little bits and pieces. Copper. I'm gonna keep looking, see what I can find. Over by the chop saw is a piece of metal. Yeah, looks like getting knocked out of whack. It's a little on the small side. Let's go see if we can play with that. See if this got knocked out of whack. A little bit, it's got a little bit of play. I have a feeling that's going to be the exact same size. Can we go in? Might be able to go in on that one. Out on the other. How much stretch are we going to get? Not much. Go in one direction and back a little. What I was going to do was go over it. I was going to slice it and kind of go around it and clamp it best we can on both sides. Weld it, and just weld the seam back over again. And now I'm thinking if you can get it go back one direction and then kick back this way. It only really needs just to be buried under. It doesn't have to be way in there. So let's go cut. What's this for a marking tool? Let's go cut it one piece right there. Yeah. The problem is we're not going to be able to. Maybe we'll do a little prodding and prying. Let's see. Maybe. I don't think we can get it spread enough, but let's see what we can do. Could trim it down a little more too. Come on, you're like right there. I'll probably take it and I'd rather have a little bit of a butt weld on it. I'm gonna go take it back out and roll this edge down a little. Give it a little bit of a cone taper. Try it one more time. Yeah, let's try it again. It's like right there. There it goes. Perfect. That way there's no pressure on the pipe too, you know, it's where it naturally wants to stay. And I think we can get a good buzz around. on both of those. I saved you guys the welding part of the show just because the camera is upside down, and I've had very good luck with having welding splatter come right down and stab you in the eye. And you guys don't appreciate getting stabbed in the eye. So that's all welded up all the way around. It's nice that the pipe where the flange was has room to get around it. Even the blind area up there feels like I got it pretty good. But you can see the quality of the pipe is getting ready to blow out in other areas too. Not that we can't do the same thing there, but for now I'm leaving well enough alone. I just want to get it good enough to get a sticker on it. See, the rest of it seems fairly decent. It's got a rattle to it. Let's go chase that, see if we can find it. So it's a little on the dark side, but the source of the rattle is this bracket right here. That is not attached to that, and it's got a hairline all the way around it. It's causing it to vibrate against it when the muffler's rattling. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna take a wire wheel or something, and we'll get as much of that rust off as possible, and let's see if we can get a buzz attaching that. Good thing I didn't put the welder away. I guess you could fire it up and give it a listen. That sounds better. Good. Sounds pretty good. Alright, well, I'm going home for tonight, and we'll pick this up again tomorrow. Hey guys, it's the next day, and we got most of the major stuff taken care of that would stop me from getting an inspection sticker. But now we got a couple of little things just to go take care of. So one of them is that. Is that annoying? So it looks like the pin is bent right there. I wonder if we should probably just take it maybe right off. See if we can straighten that out, lube that point up, and get it back on, and get the alignment so that it's falls. There's a latch that's supposed to lock into. It's not even touching it. It's like a seal. Let me get that off of there. We'll go beat on that a little. On second thought, it's riveted on. It does not come off. Let's go see if we can improve its see if we can possibly form that. It's hitting, the whole thing's got to go forward some too. It's out and forward. I think maybe a piece of plastic or wood, we got to get behind it and hammer on it a little bit. Let's get a couple of beats with a 2x4. Can influence it to the right. It's got to go in. What if we should? Maybe we'll. You can see it rubbing on the paint. That's what I'm trying to get away from. We could also probably maybe put like maybe a plastic shim in there and open it to pry it. Let's try some Harbor Freight scrapers there. That looks better already. Take a little more on the top. It's contacting right there. Looks like the whole thing's a little on the high side. still has to go in. The gap's looking much better all the way around. That one's a lot quieter. So I can remove it. I'm gonna go play with that a little bit more, see if we can get it dialed in. And I think we're gonna go leave that for the wind. That opens far enough to get the pump in it without rubbing. I think if I keep kind of screwing around it more, I'm gonna start making stuff weak. So, good enough. Give it a little shot of fluid film. Next item on the agenda is we like to put little eyeballs on the side of the truck, and I had explicit instructions to put it where she likes it, not where I like it. That's where she likes it. I think we should compromise, but you know, sometimes the women always wins. Do that on the other side. Winding down the list, the last thing that we have is something called A-Track. And what A-Track does, so you have the rear has a locking differential. What that means is both axles, both wheels are locked together. So in low range, both tires are turning at the same rate. You make a turn, they're still turning at the same rate. They're just locked together. Well, for the front axle, what they do is they will lock the brake on the wheel that is spinning, or the wheel, and it will transfer power to the side that is not spinning. They come factory wired, and the only thing missing for that option is the switch. So if you take that and plug it in and push that back in your dash, you now have A-Track. Not 8-track, A-Track. Done. I didn't get a very good look at the interior because it wasn't lit up. I got a backlight on us right now, but give you a general idea of what we're working with. Pretty much everything's rubber on the floor. You could actually take a hose if you wanted to and hose the lower section right out, is the idea of it. That's why everything is very utilitarian looking. And it's going to get dark as we go to the back because there's no lighting back there. It's got what's called suicide door or half a door for the back passengers. You got to reach on the inside and grab a handle. That allows you to open that. But as you can see, there's not quite that much room. Oh, there's something I forgot to put in. We got one more item. As you can see, my dog's already been back there by the dog hair. Actually, that was my friend's dog, blonde hair, yellow lab. Decent size. Those seats fold down. You can either split them or leave it both down or whatever you want, both up. As far as the passenger back there, you know, it's okay for foot leg room. Not great. Go around back, but it's got a decent size opening for getting into it. Yeah, one thing that was also missing, it's been so long since I ordered it, forgot about it, is there's a strut that's supposed to hold the door in the open position, because if you're parked on a hill, or an angle, the door will want to shut on you, or if it's windy, you want to slam behind you. So they have a strut that goes on there, and the strut has a lock on it also. So when you extend the door all the way, it will lock go all the way, and I believe you pull to lock. I get it. Oh, no, it is this way. So that locks the door from slamming on you. Then you push it back in, it locks it. Put a key in it, the back window can flip open. You're not even looking. You put a key in it, it'll pop the glass can open up. You can run around with that open. Only downside to that is it turns the interior light on and you have to manually shut it off, because if you park with the thing open or just drive around, the light's always on. Kind of a weird setup. You would think it would be more for opening the hatch, but it is what it is. It's time for us to go for a ride. That what you're hearing is a backup buzzer. It lets you know if you're getting really close to something. I still have the exhaust rattle though, hear it? I think it sounds like a heat shield. Oh well. Yeah, it's got a little park assist. It lets you know, it's got two sensors on the back bumper. So when you put it in reverse, if you were to push that in, it lets you know how close you're getting. The more solid of a beat, the closer you are to coming up to something. It goes solid, then you got to stop or push your tire in, one of the two. It's annoying. Okay, how much do you think? It holds 19 gallons, and I ran it to when the light was coming on and a little bit past that.
They're basically hashtag relationship goals, TikTok videos, adorable photos, and more. And if
not even close. I had 2.5 gallons left. We are on the road. Little back road riding. Not exactly the best time of year yet. It's still, everything is gray and rainy. Yes, it has 3 windshield wipers because it doesn't have 4. The windshield is so thin and long that they had to go cover that distance, and they ended up going with 3. Runs decent. I don't see any issues. Got a couple little rattles. Go chase on it still. I checked the tie rod ends. They seemed okay. I haven't checked the ball joints. I probably should have done that while I had it in the air, but I didn't. It got a little bit of a clunk, a little bit of a rattle still in it. One sounds like a heat shield. I tapped on my, I really didn't notice anything that was really loose. Could be also inside the exhaust. You know, sometimes the catalytic converter, the guts of the catalytic break loose, and they're there, but the honeycomb kind of rattles inside the case. I've done it before. You dent the cat to kind of take up some of the play to get rid of that. Check-in light, I put, I don't know, about 150 miles on it. It had no check engine light. I ran a scanner through it. There's no codes on it, so it's not like the cats have an issue. It's got a 173. It's probably good to about 300. This one will have issues with rust before it'll have any other issues. A couple things I still need to do on it. I need to undercoat it. I take a needle scaler and run around, knock off all the loose stuff, take an air gun, blow off all the crap, get all the sand and dirt and salt out of the crevices. Make sure it's nice and dry. I might even pressure wash it, then wait for it to really dry out real good during the summer. And I take a undercoating gun and I use oil. I don't like the hard undercoats. It doesn't work, especially if something's already rusty. I go and I take barn chain oil. Barn chain oil is the oil that you put in on a chainsaw. It's the oil that goes in for the blade part of it, not the oil mix. It coats the blade. It's a very thick, tactile oil, very sticky kind of oil. and that is gets diluted with like kerosene, a couple of things you thin it with too. So you can spray it with a gun, then the kerosene kind of evaporates away, and it leaves that oil on there, and that oil goes into all the rusty little bits and crevices, kind of like butter on toast, where it melts inside and goes all in the nooks and crannies, and then it hardens back up again. That's kind of what that stuff does when you put it on thin. Wish the weather was a little nicer. A gray, rainy kind of day. We're supposed to go to 70s next week, which is nice. Yeah, seems decent. Let's go, nobody behind us. Let's do a little bit of a brake check. Wheels nice and smooth, and it stayed nice and straight. That's good. It's booted a little. Gets up and goes pretty good. I still tracked out 4.0. Same as the Tacomas and the 4Runners. Decent drivetrain against a 5-speed, 4-speed with an overdrive. I need to probably put a 2-inch lift in the front, a little leveling kit. They have put like blocks that go on top of the shock towers, and it just knocks the front end down about 2 inches, gets rid of the tilted forward stance that are on them. I like to look for a better set of rims and tires. I'll keep an eye out on like Facebook Marketplace for that, but these are fine to run for now. The tire tread is good. I should be all set to get a sticker. Everything should be covered. Everything should be, I double check the lights, but I'm pretty sure everything is working. And I got to do a transmission flush at some point, a complete transmission flush. That's where you take a line off the radiator and you run it essentially into a pan. And you can either backfeed. Usually what I do, this one's gonna be a little bit different because the way you fill the trans is, it doesn't have a dipstick. You got to kind of go like underneath, fill it from underneath, and then when it's warmed up, it comes up. Inside the pan, there's a standoff about so high. You take the plug out of it, and the excess fluid goes up and over and comes out. So you have to add fluid, kind of cycle it through, and then you get through all the fluid that's in it. If you just drop the pan, you're only getting like 4 quarts of who knows how many, 15 maybe, 12. So that still needs to be done for the little bit of a transmission shutter that it has. We'll see if that takes care of it. But that'll be for another video. I'm just happy to go kind of get it where it's had a once over before it's, the gas tank falls out of and goes dragging down the road. Mirrors look halfway decent, or little eyeballs. Alright guys, I think we're going to go wrap this one up. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me and just going through this little bit of a project. It's another Toyota to join our family. I don't know if I told you, I actually had like 2 other vehicles that were similar to this. One was a 78 Bronco, full size. Feels kind of the same, just a lot more refined, just drives a lot better. Kind of like the same idea. And then I had a 83 Ram Charger, which is Mopar's version of the same truck kind of style. And then Chevy had a Blazer, of course. But I had 2 of those, and this kind of feels that same way. I was looking for a first-gen 4Runner as our backup toy, and those are a decent one of those is 10-15 grand now. They've really taken off. What's nice about those is the roof comes off the back of them, and you can run it in the summertime either with a soft top or just leave it off altogether. Thought about that, but this is more something that she could run around in all year long and not be as questionable as far as, you know, an 87, which is, you know, you're getting up there in years. Although it's a good truck, they're going to have issues just for the age of them. Good for me, but maybe not for her. All right, guys, I'm just kind of babbling on right now, and should put an end to that, I guess. So with that, I want to thank all you guys for hanging out, doing a little bit of wrenching with me, a little bit of looky-loo on our new toy, our cheap toy. That tree got hit by lightning. So until the next one, I will see you guys then. Usually a little There's miniature horses on that farm they're in right now. They're like 3 feet tall. Funny looking. Alright guys, till then, later. One last thing that could use a little bit of help is the driver's door has to kick up slightly when it closes. It's hanging a little low. Let's see if we can do some jack persuasion. Get that. That can be tall enough. It's gonna want to kick out on us, so. There, put in some. That feels pretty good. And this is called it'll work. The FJ Wave. The FJ Wave.